I'm on the road today. It's September 27th. Had some coffee, maple pecan. It's a new seasonal flavor at Starbucks. I'm having some thoughts. First of all, I'm very thankful to be on a road trip. It's nice to mix it up. So there's that fresh aspect. There's also, thoughts, waves, waves of feeling. I think I was feeling a little anxiety, actually, a couple of days previous. The little sty under my nose is healing. When I made the gesture of, hey, we need to reflect on each other, with what we want, with our desire and follow through. No sooner did I launch that realization on Twitter and basically extending a live olive branch, we're all innocent. We just need follow through. And to be able to self-repair one-on-one and in the right context with someone present. Sooner did I put that out there than I'm like, oh, what is that? What is that hard, pussy nodule? Looks like a sty under my nose. Anyway, it's healing. On the road to New York, what else? So I'm having some nice thoughts besides still trying to wake up. One was how nice it would be to just be your word. Your word as your world, and that you, the love, and that you, and to have sustainability. Sorry, I really am trying to wake up, and I'm in between states. In terms of my thoughts, past, present, future, and trying to encapsulate and understand the ramifications of potential and possibility and opportunity. And I'm still driving, and I'm still trying to wake up. So maybe it's not like I'm trying to wake up so much, it's just that I've got a lot going on. And I'm on the road, and it's early, and I already know to save money, I'll be going to New York today. It's about 5 or 6 hours driving and coming back same day. But that's going to be about, I'm going to be up almost 24 hours. All right, that aside, so I'm just letting the thoughts come, and then I have my notebooks here, and I'm going to write them down. A conceivable platform to together to tog, that's clothe, ether, AD. Yeah, I have my notebook today to work on my on the platform for presentation as I go to New York and pick up some fabric, go see theater. From a ticket I bought a long time ago, and they refunded me because there was a crash in Connecticut. I was going to New York several years ago to see theater, and there was a crash in Connecticut, and I sat on the highway several hours. And when I got into town, into New York City, I found out that covered parking does not allow you to keep your dog in the car. So, for $60. It's like you could park the car. Now I have to walk the dog to the theater that I'm already late to and be like, hey, this didn't go as planned. Well, they said that I could, I thought I heard they would refund me, and they gave me the email, but when I emailed back in town, they're like, no, you could come back and see it another time. It's like, well, it's not like every day I drive 12 hours. 6 one way, 6 another, give or take some with traffic. So, anyway, all right, I'm dawdling. Anyway, this is where I am right now, just checking in. So, there is something I wanted to document, and that was that feeling of anxiety, being somewhat overwhelmed, and it feels like a little death, leaving the old life behind, being on the verge, on the cusp of something new and fresh, being on the cusp, the edge of the future, of being able to sow and own your own future and have the responsibility for that feels like a death of sorts, because it's either stay stagnant and nothing safe in nothing that changes, including being grumpy that nothing changes, or claiming your place, as it were, and it feels like a little death at the very least, to conceptualize the opportunity with you sow it, you own it, and you're responsible for it. So I think that was part of what I was feeling in the few days previous. Just taking in the expanse, and with the expanse, the span. Span and plans. Right consciousness is where to be, to wake up every day with being cognizant to go for reward. You have to be present to make it happen. Got a ticket. I don't care. I was in Massachusetts. Last time I drove through Mass, it was lawless. Go as fast as you want to. Apparently I was going too fast on the highway. I got a ticket. It's okay. Why? Because it has to be. It has to be. It just is. time I got pulled over, I had just tuned into the radio and was listening to I assume it's the judge, before the hearing of Christine Blasey Ford against Brett Kavanaugh. Yeah, I don't have a radio. I can listen online on occasion or in my car. I guess a lot of people probably don't have a radio now, you know, unless it's the same way. Assuming we're all moving towards digital age. Yeah, anyway, so I was listening to that, and then I saw the police officer waving, like basically telling me to pull the fuck over. And I'm like, what? Really, me? I wasn't looking at the speed. I'm actually pretty excited to be on a road trip, and I have to say it feels pretty open and expansive, and my mood is mirroring being somewhat penned up. So I'm not surprised. I'm like, oh, elation. I'm on the road for a day. I'm going somewhere where I can't actually predict holistically what's going to happen, and I have to raise my energy. Because awareness is your best self-protection. At the very least. And to be able to embrace your future, walking into the unknown with optimism for opportunity. So there you go. My ticket cost the price of a nice hotel room in New York City on Priceline. But I was already planning not to sleep in a hotel after the theater tonight. I'll drive the 5-6 hours back. So you know what? It's like I did, but I didn't. So be it. Logistics. Once the prosecutor started to speak, I didn't listen to the rest of the testimony because I lost reception. So now we're just going with music. Music with the locale. And what else? Try not to think about what I could have bought with my ticket. And hang out in the in-between. Hang in the in-between, meaning don't try and forecast with what I could have bought. Just make paying the ticket, it's a wash. Don't think about it, in terms of stress. The other is, don't think about what I could have bought. Be content with where I am. Stability and sustainability for the present. I already know why I'm speeding. somewhat elated about feeling a modicum of freedom, and I'm fine with that. So there's a penalty, there's a financial penalty. Money, in quotation marks, doesn't mean no thing. Just, I'm not trying to rationalize, it's just like, whatever, it's just money. Okay? So you take a bite out of me now versus later. Ultimately, either this is a go, I get this even money and platform and job and news. You make your own news to tread and bread. A debt tool lend and bend and bed and lead. Or it doesn't happen. And if it doesn't happen, I get a job. And if I get a bite taken out of me, of my finances sooner rather than later that I planned, it just means I get a job sooner rather than later. That's what it means. Or this thing takes off, okay? And I finally have an honest job and follow through with other people that want to also. So to me, that's, I'm doing this work on my own. It's the only way I can look at it. I can't constantly look back and be like, fuck me. That ticket cost me the price of a nice New York hotel on Priceline. That I wasn't planning to stay in so that I could save money. So I could have more time with my time and money versus time. That's alright. I'm not really into running across the crosshairs of that meta so much. Sometimes...
1.1 miles, keep right.
Actually, sometimes I know I'm going to step on the highway and get a ticket. It's happened before. I'm just like, you know what? I have a feeling today I'm going to get a ticket. And it happens. So, how did I feel today? Elation. I was already quasi in my head. Trying to wake up and wake up is really just a layer of trying to
keep right,
focus conceptually, knowing where I am, knowing where I want to go, and what I need. Therefore,
drive 4 miles, then keep left.
I-84. Let's see. That's weird. I'm working with old GPS, so this is not on my phone, and I've never updated the maps. It tends to work on the highways. I don't usually dialogue and document when I'm on the road. Entering Vernon and Hartford, Connecticut. I will say this, okay? You're in a container. We're in a container. A competitive marketplace, okay, where there's really no honest follow through, even to only event to that who are read. I I am not. But the point is, left, keep left. Hold on. Sorry. Oh, it's so weird. Keep left on 84. Okay.
In 1.1 miles, keep left.
So you're competing with your time and the pace and the place is look, you go to work, you make money. It's a lug and a plug. Okay, with hyphens. All right. If your job is fulfilling, you may not understand that you don't really have follow through even, okay? You're not in a cycle of completion, you're in a cycle of competition, defend, okay? It's a grind, you know, make your money, go fiddle-faddle in your free time.
0.2 miles, then exit left.
Try not to get depressed because you don't have follow through and you really can't love, okay? And then, you know, either shame people because of their perversions or because you supplied them no honest outlet with yourself, or, you know, try not to have perversions. I don't know. I'm not going there. But you have to have a police officer, you understand that, to start controlling the pace in the place malfeasantly, okay? Not really doing a service. Doing a service would be bring the time in thine hind, okay? Police officer is not supplying it. No one else here on the road today is either, okay? I suspect, much less thinking about it. I'm thinking about it, okay? I get the milieu. I get the container. I also get I'm gonna feel elated. I'm gonna be in my head. I might speed, okay? Honestly, I'm more of a spirit of the law person in terms of I've driven through Massachusetts before. I've driven through Mass before. It's lawless. Surprised to see there's a cop pulling me over going, I'm not going to tell you how fast I was going. I was going fast enough. Certainly, my spirit of the law is I'm going with traffic. That's alright. Anyway, Mass has taught me that. Go to Mass, start learning to hold your own. You know? I don't know if, you know, for those people that aren't here on the East, we call them Mass holes, okay? I have driven from Maine to Arizona, almost all the way across the nation and back. And Mass is the most lawless, in my recollection of that last road trip, the most lawless on the highways, on the roads, highways, byways. Anyway.
In 1 mile, exit
left to CT15 Charter Oak Bridge to New York City. All right. I would say a ticket today was bound to happen. Maybe I was a little uncertain about my free-for-all. You know, I was a little anxious and, you know, if I sell my own reward and I'm doing it with you all and I'm leading the way, I need to engineer the follow-through with jobs that you can self-repair. And, you know, make your own news to tread and bread to make value, EWEID, debt through who well, through the rule, RTRUEWELLID. That you knew, debt ass knew, EID.
Drive 1.2 miles, then exit right.
1.2 miles and exit right. Can I get in front of these big trucks or not?
In 1 mile, exit right.
There's 3 of them. Well, I'm gonna say as much as I don't want to. I don't like getting behind big trucks because I don't have vision to see around them. But, this is New Haven, right? Yes, we're going to New Haven. Alright, in 0.6 miles, New Haven exit. Driving behind Empire. Millwork Products, Logistical Services, Marketing Support. Empire.
Exit right.
With a capital red E. Ready. Yeah, the police officer, I think the police officer even knows. I think the police officer's point of reference is, this job's not fulfilling either. I have to kind of watch all the bait and tackle, okay? And try and self-congratulate yourself for being present. Present, prescient client when you're doff forked, DOF. Fork and fort.
Continue 8.3 miles.
And ort. O-R-T. Hyphenated. Ort is a crumb from a meal. Meal, I would presume. Let's see. 8 miles. Right. I feel pretty good. I stopped at Market Basket to get some Dave's Killer Bread. It's made from, I guess, guys that have been in prison, but it's made with lots of seeds. So, let's see, I got Power Seed last time. I really liked it. Lovely toast. This time, I got Good Seed. There's only one loaf left at Market Basket, but I have peanut butter and jelly with me in a little cooler. I got some yogurt. I got some, when I was at Market Basket, I got Good Seed. I want to say pumpkin seeds, but they didn't look like pumpkin seeds. Anyway, I got spicy. They're really delicious. Little cayenne. I didn't feel like sweet, but I wanted something. I thought it was wise to get something that I can crunch on, that I can chew. I also got some gum with caffeine. And let's see if I can find what this is. I put my seatbelt on. Now I can't get over there. Fuck. Good angle. Super seeds. Gourmet pumpkin seed. Somewhat spicy. I don't know where that is, but yeah, they're really good. I like them. Anyway, stuffed the market basket. Got a few things. Something to drink. It was a tonic. It's not kombucha, but I think it was a tonic. I kind of enjoy that. You know, it's a little livelier than water. And what else? Oh yes, I needed bread so I can make my PB&J. Peanut butter and jelly. Sticks to the ribs. I don't have to futz around, try and find a piece of pizza for too much in New York City that I probably am not going to like the taste of, or pay rent on a Subway sandwich. Meaning, Subway sandwich in Maine is probably going to cost a lot less than New York City. Anyway, I'm assuming, I'm not sure, I just know rent's more expensive there, so wouldn't that be an add-on? This way I'm self-contained. Peanut butter, jelly, yogurt, water, caffeinated gum, and something to chew on. It's a little spicy, somewhat spicy. Spicy and nicey, because I'm in the mood. I didn't want sweet. What else? Yeah, okay, the thought was the police officer. It's not really necessary, not really holding down the law. By being the law, okay? Be the law, make your news. Tread and bread, TB. Make value. EWEID. Det in thine, tine, hind, thine follow through. Doft, det toft. The fall and tall, fall, dough, low. Wet through, are you. EWEID. Tog ether. Together, tog, clothing, ether, AD. Together, READ. So, endow with, wed, your head. Det to lend, led, ban, and bed. Det again. Where the ag is the judge, and the land is Jesus. I was in New York City. I was using, I went to go see Book of Mormon. I bought the tickets years ago, but due to the crash in Connecticut on the highway, and I sat in traffic for 2 hours, and then I arrived late, I didn't see it then. So I decided that I would go treat myself at the end of tourist season. So I went. Here I am in Times Square, and this guy asked me if I'd give $1 to the homeless, give some money to the homeless. And I thought, hey man, I'm homeless too. I'll give you this. And he didn't really even look at it. He just turned and walked away and said, I don't have time for that. There he is. So there you go. It's your black savior. Here I am at the Book of Mormon at Eugene O'Neill Theater. I didn't get the Angel Moroni. You should be sitting up there. Didn't get that. Anyway, it's quite intimate. I was darn near center. And it was finely crafted nuance. and high energy. I really enjoyed it. I sat next to Janelle. It sounds like channel, but it's not Janelle, it's Janelle. Anyway, she's from Oregon. And she was she was she was she was having wine, and I had just had coffee. And so we're having a conversation about, well, what do I do, and what does she do, and I'm trying to tell her about my language. I'm trying to drop off mate. I went to Luring, Augustine Luring. It's a theater. Sorry, it's a gallery. I went there because one of their artists is Pipalotti Wrist, if I said that right. And then next to them is Matthew Marks. And so both of those places, I met the receptionist, and they told me the same thing. We do not accept artist submissions. And I have notes on that. My first thoughts is, you want to find the artist with your pristine eye. You're not laying. There's quite an irony about art. I support and uphold these artists as a gallery owner, but you're sending them all down with wart, which is basically making the need for the contrasting measure. Me as you are red. I'm not. I put my time into art, but your gallery propagator is sending your head. Thiefant. Among other things. I need to let you know, I got a number of notes here I want to go through. I've been up about 24 hours, and I didn't get a whole RDA, recommended daily allowance of sleep, 7 or 8 hours the day before. And let's see, what else? Map and terrain. By map, it says it's about 5 to 6 hours, 5.5 hours to drive to New York City from Maine. The terrain is, it's more like 6.5. 5 to 6. The map is not the same as the train. In lieu of the traffic. On the way back, I was in the car at 2:30 to head back after seeing the theater show. And there were there was largely a number of really nice things. A lot of grace, magnanimousness, and equanimity. Driving, merging, conducting, with people in business. And the only thing that kind of threw me off is on the way back, I was going onto an on-ramp, accelerating, and someone got right in front of me and put on the brakes. It's like, really? I was accelerating, let me just... And then, so I was holding my Easy Pass in one hand, and then my GPS in the other, and it's telling me go right up the ramp, and then it says no, go left, then go right, and I couldn't see what to do, couldn't visually see, turn right at this exit. So I looped back into New York, and because I was kind of getting a little stuck on that was the only jarring moment of being in New York, and I was kind of stuck on it just a little bit between holding the Easy Pass and my GPS, kind of like, how did that happen? Well, I could tell you what happened next for me is I looped around, and I'm very cognizant of the energy that I have, and knowing that I'm embarking now to get back, and any energy I can save in my behalf is going to benefit me. making it all the way. And having done trips like this before, and even more than that, I've stayed up 36, 38 hours without sleep. And that last hour or two is it's the most painful psychologically, bummitis, whatever. But I looped back into New York, and then I finally found the bridge again. And I mixed up my right and my left or something. I looped back into New York. When I finally got back on the bridge again, there's a sign saying road construction at 11 o'clock. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm looking at the time. It's like 10:55. And so I hit road construction. They don't only do road construction in New York at night. They do it in Connecticut and Mass. And so map and terrain, 5 to 6 hour drive. I got home at 4, and I had to keep really coaxing and coaching myself to keep my head in the game and stay positive. Any more stress I place on top of the fretwork of somewhere out there, I was listening to music loud, and the GPS got muffled on the bag of fabric, so I didn't hear it to say take that way, and so I added more mileage and time on top of 2 mistakes and looping. Anyway, I finally got home, and I got a modest 4 hours sleep, and I want to get on these notes, trying to move the shit forward. What I thought I would do is also start. So I'm trying to build a bridge. I'm trying to segue, and with what I can see, what I can understand, and put for reward. Briefly, in the preceding video from when I was on the road, you need to make value. We're in the business of making value, EWEID, okay? And you need to create your own trial balance, your TB, tread and bread, okay? You lay yourself out on the line, and you are your word in follow through, and people can see that with debt tasked and bast, a stag and stage Jesus, G''SUS, where Jesus, grace and gravity, is the judge and the agriculture of the land. Again, people used to, when you spoke of the land, you spoke of the people on the land. And you're going to tread and bread on Jesus, okay, to get your follow through, debt ass nude. You know how this ag is going to conduct oneself, okay, one-on-one, Trying to make my hair look a little nicer. Anyway. So let's see. Yeah, I was just re-listening to my last road trip. Went from Maine to Arizona. Actually, it's Arizona and Utah, and Mass was the most lawless. Okay, just I can reiterate. I think I've already done it in previous work. So it's interesting. It's interesting that I got a ticket for speeding, and it wasn't like I was trying to pass anyone. It was just no one was there. So I'm like, as I was listening to tune in that radio, I'm like, yeah, well, it's here. I may as well listen to it. See, and then I see the police officer go, having me pull over. I'm like, really, me? And I'm like, I didn't even look at the speed. So he said I was going X amount. I'm like, okay. Let's see. New York was great. Like I said, a lot of really earnest presence and energy, by and large. I wandered in Times Square. I had a bit of time between going to get fabric. I picked up some silk to make some laser even me one eye, laser money. And then I went to Art Gallery, Augustine Luring, or it's the other way around, and then Matthew Marks right next to it. And I went into Times Square, and there was a hawker, hey, you could go to a comedy show. I'm like, is it free? And she's like, well, if it's free, I'd be a volunteer. I'm like, hey, fuck's sake, I know all about that. Anyway, her breath just smelled like a dirty ashtray. Certainly nice enough, okay, and personable enough, but I knew it was for this concerted moment. So for that concerted moment, I was myself. And she's like, telling me, like, I expressed, I already have a theater show tonight. How long are you here? I said, tonight. She's like, well, I could give you at this price, all you have to do is buy a couple of drinks. They could be soda, okay, real cheap. You've got five comedians, all on the stage, and they're all really good. And I'm like, but I can't do that tonight. And she's like, but I'll listen to you because I could come back. Tell me how does this work? So she ran it through for me, and I'd have to say my residual thought is logistically, it's not that funny if you don't care, AD, okay? It's not that funny, is it? Because you're part of the problem. Rob and Robe and Robe Ben mend it again, okay? You know how your ag is going to land, and your ag is not Jesus, okay? So you're getting your tin and tine and thine, det thiefant, okay? What else? It is not really innocent candor, intimacy. It is not really innocent candor. Let me write this out for you so you can see how so I want to start teaching you because you need to make your own news. It is not. You could do KNOT as well. Overtime. Really, oopsie. I'm working with a different keyboard, and this one's kind of messy for me. The key positions aren't in the right place, and they're like loose. Not in the right place. They're not in the place of the other keyboard, which is on my graphic art computer now, in anticipation of doing artwork. It's not really innocent candor. It's not really innocent candor to read and read, R-E-A-D. Re-add by saying don't on do ought over time, okay, with thief ends. This stupid malfeasant conversation should not be taking place. And I hate to say it, when you go to the lot, you're not bringing grace to the face, AD, okay? Spacing, you'll see my spacing change on Twitter because I'm sometimes trying to condense it. When I'm putting content on YouTube videos, this hyphen here next to that parenthesis, I have to put a space, and sometimes I have to space them all out. Otherwise, it draws a line right through all the letters. And what else? Sometimes I will parse a lot, not tray, really good. Not to tear, the ta, thanks. Not an H here, a hydrogen, an honest hydrogen, okay. Sorry, fuck. So there's many different ways and permutations. They're all saying the same thing and lending directionally towards the same land and tend to have I it, the vet, ta, again, the ag again, okay, AD. You need to understand that your ag is lending and tending towards the house. And if you're all red characters, you're only going to ever produce red, value, were, red, and wed, red. So there's something interesting, you know, if you want to look at my behavior, you know, putting myself out on a limb, I do the work, and there's no one that wants to be sustainable with me. I'm up to this point. On Sharon's end, she's like, I'm reflecting on the value of Jesus. But I'm like, you're not doing the work. Your hand didn't do the work, and he didn't lay the hand. Okay? If you ask me what I think this all meta means is, if you want to heal your emotions on that side of being married, thiefing, you need to lay the hand that did the work as your choice. Rather than making me the outcast for your couple, your coup, hyphenated, that the couple that pled and legged doffed, you know, to get across ass sought and taught. Toft off the hoe opt, you know. So if you want to get to innocence as a threesome, you know, you need three to produce a trend, a direction. Okay, you can exist in a bubble, a red bubble. I give you love, you give me love, and we can't help anyone else. But it's looking more and more that that's not the case. It's not that you wouldn't want to help anyone else. You would rather send wart again. You'd rather send war rather than love. Okay? Permutations and possibilities, how this can land. Minnow, stop. It's okay. Hi. It's okay. It's okay. I'm not going to think about that right now. I have some ideas, some possibilities already that I'm aware of, but I'm kind of a little bit tired. I don't want to miss anything, so I'm not going to delve into that. Stick with my notes. Okay, the problem mend. L is love. You can do you robe, you rob, and you robe. The men den. The men debt. Whoop, sorry. Hie, H-I-E, is to go fast, to go quickly. To the ven, that means venerable. And vend is the market. So with wed, your head, so that's hyphenated. So with wed, the war. Seriously. What else? What else? What else? What else? Okay. If you don't know at this point, I use the hyphen to express thief and value. Two dudes, hyphenated, speaking for you. EWE, speaking for the value, but not seating in follow through. EWEID. So you and EID, feast, oath. EI is the egg as an example, given, debt again, and WEID. I think that means, is it feast also? If I change the screen to check it, to look it up, this could go black, so I'm not going to do that. The problem is you make the face. The problem of mending a thief in value is it makes your face, it makes you face the consort, tort, and bort, okay? So you're sorting for time that you've received to get it again, okay, through you. With the same means, you're asking to bite to, through, that are read, again, okay? Conceivable to land, the very same hand, doubt, thief end. Off of toff, you gave your head. And fed and freed, doffed. Again, okay? To edit, to say, stupid, don't do that, while you're sending Dow with he ate, thief end, okay? You can only produce that, okay? It's theater of the absurd. You desired red, BS. You desired red character, okay? And I imagine red character knows that, okay? When they finally give up and do something horrendous, it's saying something visually. There you go. You got what you wanted. You got the head you wanted, okay? There's your visual, okay? It's a statement. Look at the aftermath and go fuck yourself. You know, certainly it never was for pleasure. Problem end makes you face the consort. Tort, TB, trial balance. Ort is O-R-T is a crumb left after a meal. You makes you face the consort board, and sometimes I do that. Ta. So under the hyphenated hand is a thanks. Handbread. ND is no date. You know, you're in the container. You may not be aware of the date you're in, but you know, if you're not aware of the container, you know. Anyway, hand and dB, decibels, dread and bread, be read, okay? Sorry. Dead ass. Sometimes I like to make this a little more apparent. I use T as time. T with a hyphen is time for completion. Thief end. H is hydrogen. Most abundant element in the universe that doesn't actually exist on Earth. So it's been my contention. It is my contention. You need to breathe and speak it honestly, first with the thirst. Do you want this value? Well, you know where contextually it exists for a reason, as desire even in life. That has ass. So when you're speaking for one person, according to your ways and means with the lot, you're speaking for your mate that is also a thief, okay? Because your ag in the lot, your ag's mate is a thief. Because that ag and his mate or her mate didn't do this work in even in follow through. Didn't do it through even, okay? Trying to get caught up. Oh my goodness. It's kind of ironic, my theater ticket. Sorry, that's backwards. I thought it was scheduled for seat 101. I got moved to 108. Anyway, it was right center, and I'm not trying to pay attention to details, I just notice. I think I was originally going to be seated on the aisle, but this is good, right in the center. I think I'm going to stop there for now. I've got a cute little pile of notes. I'm going to try and get my biorhythms back. Sunshine means I'm awake. Darkness means I'm asleep. Just gonna have to feel my way through this.